when the garden is left, then they can't help but close off that garden and protect themselves and not want to be vulnerable because the men are not there to protect, and they're actually protecting themselves from those who are supposed to be protecting.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey everyone, welcome to Catholic Girl Talk. My name is Olivia, and on this channel we talk about faith, femininity, fashion, and friendship for young Catholic girls. And today I have a guy with me?
What?
Question mark? This is Graecen.
What's up, y'all? So I'm Graecen. I go to Benedictine College here, and I'm from Iowa. I'm a junior, and I study theology and evangelization catechesis. And Olivia asked me to be on the show today, and I'm super excited.
Yeah, so today we are talking about the complementarity between men and women, and what does authentic masculinity and femininity look like. So I thought you all would love to hear from a guy's perspective.
So I think, Olivia, right from the beginning, we need to start. What is authentic masculinity, and what does that look like for a man? And I think I can talk from my experience. It's a choice, waking up in the morning, interiorly choosing this, and choosing to have an interior disposition of this openness. And so, like, right when I wake up in the morning, I choose this. I choose this every day to make a gift of myself. And what is authentic masculinity? St. John Paul II, in one of his general audiences, he said, man goes out of himself to find himself. It's this act of going out and not so much interior looking in and what he can get. And so what I get to do every day is I get to make a full gift of myself, and right, some people can take that in a hyper sexualized way, but no, there's different ways to live this full gift of self for man.
We're all called to make a gift of ourselves, and for a man it's much more outward. And what does this sort of giving look like? And then I'll talk about how, like, a woman receives that and how that is complementary. So.
Yeah, no. I laugh all the time, and I know y'all have seen this, because it's in the little things, right? It's the way that I look at you, and the way that I look at my sisters. First and foremost, the little things. As a man, we should be looking at the little things. It's not just the big things. Yeah. And so, like, the door.
Yeah.
Don't touch that door. I will always
don't touch the door.
Don't touch the door. And you know this. Like, I will not let you touch the door. And women walking into the building, it's like, no, and they kind of reach out to, like, protect themselves from the door. And it's like, no, don't touch. Trust me. I have the door. Yeah. Walk through the door.
Yeah.
And it's this receiving. You talk about this receptivity for you guys, and this going out of myself. Yeah. And it's how can I serve you? Yeah. How can I serve you as a brother? And right, there's intense virtue that comes in that, right? Yeah. You have to know where you're at in that season to know where you're at to make a full gift of yourself, and whatever that looks like.
So a way that as a woman I can receive this gift, you're giving this gift of yourself as a man, and right, it is more acts of service, more of those outward things, like opening the door. My brother, he'll always, like, carry something for me. It's just so awesome. But, like, those little things where like he is serving, and the way that I can love him, or I can love you as a brother, is in allowing you to serve me and receiving that service. Like you said, just that sort of gaze you have with people is very beautiful, because you see the whole person, and you're asking, how can I give myself? And so as a woman, when I wake up in the morning, like you said, I have to make this choice. I'm going to consciously receive people, because it can be so easy of a temptation to look at men as not as brothers, but as objects, and trying to see, what can I get from you? How can I take something? How can I feel emotionally better? But instead, it's like, no, I'm going to open my hands and receive the gift of my brother. Right. And that receptivity is how I am giving myself to you. Yep. And again, it is in those little things, right? So it's in the way that I behold the person, in the way that I let you open the door, or let my brother carry my things. Yeah. This heart of authentic femininity and masculinity, this giving and this receiving. It's not to be like, oh my gosh, men can't receive, women can't give, because no, my giving is my receiving, and I have to teach you how to receive, because as women, we are these icons of receiving, and so we teach our brothers how to receive. A beautiful image of this complementarity between man and woman is the crucifixion. So we see Christ stretching his arms out in this gesture of love. He's giving himself fully. And Mary is standing there beneath the cross, receiving.
Yeah.
She can't do what he's doing, but she can allow and let be this suffering and be with him in it. And it is not easy, right?
Yeah.
Like you said, it takes a virtuous action.
Like Christ being the bridegroom in church, being the bride, and the bridegroom fully giving himself to his bride. And right, you have the opportunity, and you have the choice to receive or not. So you have that free will. And right, like, let's be honest here, men and women, we have forgotten our roles, right? What were the roles in the beginning? Woman receiver, she is the garden. And what was Adam's role in the beginning? He was protector of the garden. And what the heck happened? Where's Adam at? Where did Adam go? He left the garden. He left the garden, and he left Eve vulnerable. And then the fall happened, and it wasn't Eve's fault. Like, it wasn't all Eve's fault, but they're like, well, like, where's Adam at? And I think so we as men, and the role as men has been forgotten, right? And right, the devil, he cannot make anything, but he can twist what is good, right? And so men's role has been forgotten. And I think when men forget their role, and likewise, when women forget their role, they can't complement one another, because I rely on my sister being able to receive fully so that I can make a full gift of and what I have to offer is friendship and service. When the garden is left, then they can't help but close off that garden and protect themselves and not want to be vulnerable, because the men are not there to protect, and they're actually protecting themselves from those who are supposed to be protecting. Yeah. Right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm dead.
As men, we instant gratification. I want this right now. This is mine. Like lust. This is your body taken by me. Love. This is my body given for you. Men, we need to remember what our roles are. What true, authentic, sacrificial love is. I try to figure out in high school. I'm like, Dad, like, I would ask my parents, what is love? Like, is this love? And they'd be like, and they would answer as best they could. But what true, authentic, self-sacrificial love is subordinating our emotions and our attractions, and subordinating it for the will of the other, for the good of the other.
Amen to that. Maybe there'll be a part 2 on how to do this practically. I don't know. Thank you, Graecen. Do you have any last words for our women watching out there, particularly, especially if they have felt, like you said, they need to close off this garden of their hearts?
We live in a fallen world, and so there are wounds, and that doesn't mean you can't open up. Sisters, I don't blame you. I don't blame you for closing off, and I'm so sorry on behalf of men for this forgetting what our roles are. I promise you, women, that there are good men out there that have not forgotten their roles, and you seeing this, you can remind your brothers and you can remind your sisters their roles, and their receiving, and then men going out of themselves and making a gift of themselves. That's huge. I understand. I apologize, and know how loved you are, and that there are men out there, and so do not lose hope. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Amen. Thank you, Graecen.
Absolutely.
So, if you all loved this video, comment below. Please share it with a friend who could really use this message. Also, click the bell, subscribe to get notified, or whatever those things are. Follow on Instagram at Catholic Girl Talk for more inspiration and updates. Thank you all. Have a very beautiful day, and God bless. Okay, now we have to do a thumbnail. So like pose.
Do something really exciting.
No! Okay, cool.
Wow.
Awesome. Thing about the garden, I couldn't react properly because
if we have questions,
you can raise your hand, interrupt, but also it should be kind of short.
You can start it off.
I'm drinking V8.
Hey everyone! He fixes his hair. Okay. Alright, ready?
I want a glorified version.
Okay,
not just the...
here we go. Alright. I don't really know because I don't really keep up with that stuff, but I make YouTube videos still, so it's fine.